G'day you lot, and welcome back to Stimming the Story. ArtFight was really fun. I had a ball. I got a bit tired towards the end, but I paced myself a bit and I got through, and I think I just had a wonderful time. I really enjoyed it. And thank you so much for the amazing attacks that I got. I got some attacks from subscribers, and it was amazing. They were all so cool. And I never felt so special before. I thank you so much to everyone who attacked me. They were amazing. This video is to showcase a bit of a unique art fight style I started doing about halfway through. I started making paper dolls. And submitting the pictures on the website was a bit of a hassle because I couldn't do them full detail because it was too big to submit it to the website, and I could only submit one picture, so I had to sort of make a weird low quality collage. And I think that the people whose characters these are deserve to be able to see the, you know, the full might of what I worked on, like all the movement capabilities and extra details and like extracurricular stuff. So I'm just making this video to showcase all the dolls. Alright, this is the first paper doll. This is Zowie, made by Rainbow Filled on ArtFight. There'll be a link to their account in the description. But yes, this is the first one I made, and the one that prompted the whole making paper dolls thing. Mainly because, well, their character was really cute, and I knew I wanted to draw them like as soon as I saw them, even though it was a friendly fire. But I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, like, pose-wise. It was a very interesting, like, design character, and it wasn't something I would usually do. So I wasn't sure how I wanted to get that across. And then I remembered a while ago I made paper dolls, which were a bit more complicated than this. And I was like, well, I could whip up, like, a simplified version and try it, because I think that could look cute. And this is what we ended up with. She's a sea hare, set in the Splatoon universe. So she's got 5 points of articulation. There's the head, arms, and legs. To make all of the dolls, I drew them, like I had a template, I drew all the stuff in properly, made edits where necessary, and then I used my markers to basically do the base color, and then I went back in with colored pencils to do shading and add a bit more depth and stuff you might be able to see. And then I went over a last thing in a lot of them with a white paint pen to give them highlights and stuff. This one, I really like her. She's super cute. Oh, an interesting thing I did with this one is I actually made the torso longer, because in her character design she has like a longer jacket that goes down over her legs. So it actually makes it look like that, but she's actually got shorts underneath, which I thought was a cute, if you can see that, I thought that was a cute little detail. But she's just so cute and happy, and I'm really happy with how the face came out. Yeah, so that is Zowie by Rainbow Filled. Alrighty, this is the next doll that I made. This is Kris Robbins. Honestly, he's going to be one of my favorites just because the face just came out so cute and, like, so, if you have a look, so detailed with the extra shading. I'm really proud of how he came out. This was actually an attack for one of my friends who we managed to persuade to try out ArtFight. And I'm really happy with how he came out. I love the way the hair shading worked. I was a little bit hesitant on that at first, but it turned out awesome. Just like all the shading and like cloth folds in general, the little legs, especially the face and the eyes, just absolutely love them. Yeah, the user is KrisKrosAppleSauce on ArtFight, and I will link their account. Also, Kris here has 6 points of articulation, the normal 5 on the head, arms, and legs, and he's also got some extra, so he can move his little hand. That was because Kris can use incredibly powerful telekinesis in his character sheet, and I thought it would be cute to have like a little hand to be like haha, you will piss yourself now, or something stupid like that. I don't know. Very in character. I really liked the way this part worked, the neckline. Yes. It was more of a turtleneck. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, honestly, I'm just really happy. The shading came out just wonderful, just really made the character. But the initial sketch was also really fun. The whole time I was doing it, I was like giggling to myself, like, this is gonna be so good. Yeah, that is the second one I made. That is Kris Robbins. Okay, this one was the next one I made, and this one was the first, like, real change of form. I really changed up the template for this one. As you can see, it lengthened pretty much. The head template was the same, but I lengthened the arms, the torso, the legs. I had to do a lot of messing around to try and get the legs to work. And, of course, you know, gave it a tail. This is Cosmo, the catfish or starfish, because cats, stars, haha, very funny. The moment I saw the character, I was like, oh my goodness, I love anything galaxy themed. It's like one of my guilty pleasures, and I had to give it a try. It was a bit of a trust the process before I put the actual stars in, I've got to say. It was not looking good till I put the stars in, but now that they're in there, it just looks, I'm just so happy with it. The legs, again, were a bit fiddly, but I managed to work that out. Yeah, character, this is Cosmo, and they were made by Cookies Forever 123. The account will be linked in the description, so please go check them out and their characters. Yeah, Cosmo has 6 points of articulation, the normal head, arms, and legs, and then the extra for the tail, which was a bit interesting because this is the first one I did the tail. This also actually reinforced the back. I've reinforced the backs of all of them. I didn't actually mention it before, but once I made the back piece, I cut out an identical piece, made it a little bit smaller, and glued it on to give a bit more robustness, because I mean, you're attaching a bunch of stuff to one piece of paper, especially, and I think it helped a lot with keeping the tail in place. The face, I'm honestly really happy with how the eyes came out. I don't usually do or draw eyes in that style, but I mean, it was very integral sort of to the basic character design. Like, I've got to include it somehow. And the third eye was also very fun. And the ears were a bit tricky. They're kind of not symmetrical, but, you know, I don't usually draw like that. So it was very much a fun experiment, and I really do like the tail. The tail was very fun to do. But yeah, that is Cosmo. Alright, this next one was my most ambitious project yet. Had to be, like, reinforced several different ways. Even has a, if you can see that, a spring on the head. This was, actually belongs to someone who I'm in a server with. When I found out that they were doing ArtFight, I checked out their page, and this is a popular character that they often draw and work with, so I'm like, I want to draw him. It would be a very fun experiment, and so far out of the way I usually draw. So this is Alexi. The user is InvalidOS, and I will leave a link to their account in the description. As you can see, they are a lot more robust. They have a backing plate on the head, as well as mainly to keep this spring in place, but also to keep, you know, give the head a bit of robust weight because it's holding a lot of extra. They've got ponytail, they've got a tail, which is so sort of thick that it's actually reinforced with a bunch of pieces of paper. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different points of articulation, but some of them are doing more heavy lifting, as you can see with the hair. This one was the most changes to the template. Especially the arms were a bit interesting to try and translate, but I'm honestly pretty happy with how they came out. The legs were probably the most complicated. I took a little bit of a page from when I was doing Cosmo, but they were still mainly different and a lot of kind of difficult to get the same. I also had a lot of issues with the actual the colors, because a lot of the colors used in the original character were very vibrant. I didn't have that many vibrant colors. The pink is spot on, the green is not bright enough, and the blue, I had to mess around with like 2 different colors of blue markers to try and get that. But, I'm honestly really happy with it. The eyes were a bit difficult at first to figure out how I wanted to do them, but I'm honestly really happy with how they came out. The mouth was probably the most complicated just because I couldn't get it quite right. But yeah, the body, again, I had to lengthen the torso a little bit to try and get it to work. But yeah, all over, I'm really happy with how they came out. The tail looks really cool. You can do a lot of really cool poses with them. Honestly, yeah, had a lot of fun on Alexi. Yeah, that was Alexi. Alright, so here's the last paper doll I ended up doing. This is Vamdandl. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably wrong. I did not look up pronunciation guides before this, so if I am wrong, please yell at me in the comments. Yes. Vamdandl by LxvelyLxve. This was the last one I made. It's also probably the least experimental next to the first one that I did. Probably the least because I didn't even do an extra thing. Mainly because the design was pretty straightforward. I thought it would translate really well into a doll. I did, in some ways, having the longer hair come down like that and the cravat was a bit experimental. The eyes and face honestly was one of the harder ones, just trying to get it right so it didn't look out of place on the doll but also looked like the character. But I think it came across really decently well. You might notice that the skin color and the hair color look incredibly similar. That's because on the original character, the hair was only like slightly lighter than the skin color, and because I was doing the whole using markers and then doing the shading with pencil, I did them both in the same color, and I tried my best to differentiate them, but it doesn't really come across that well. So I'd probably say this is unfortunately one of my least successful dolls. I really like the overall design and proportion and everything. I think that works really well, and I do like the little cravat, but I'm not happy how the skin color blends into the hair. Although I have to say that I'm really happy with how the vitiligo came out with the skin, and I am very happy with the eyes. I think they look very good. I'm really happy with how that went out. But yeah, LxvelyLxve is the creator. Their account will be linked in the description as well as their YouTube. Yeah, this one's again, only has the 5 points of articulation. I think because of just the solemn expression, it doesn't really lend itself to whimsy. So, funny little poses aren't quite as effective as the others, but he's a very nice solemn gentleman. I think he'll make a nice addition to the collection. Yeah, this is actually the template I used. I drew it up on digitally and printed it out so I can make sure that shapes fit well. I lost one of the arms, but I've just been turning it over and just tracing it on the other side. So that's how I get the basic template to make sure the sizes match up. Paper dolls was honestly really fun, and I think next ArtFight, which I do want to join, I will be definitely doing more paper dolls. I want to put more of a focus on that because that was very fun. It was unique. It was a cool way to get some points because my previous stuff wasn't getting a lot of points, and yeah, I'll have to design a new template so I can have something slightly differently. The main sucky thing is that I've got all these super cool paper dolls, but I don't really have anything to do with. I don't really know what to do with them. I wish I could send them to the people who made the characters, but that's the main annoying thing, is I spent they're adorable and they're super cool, but I just don't know what to do with them. I think I might put them up on my corkboard because that's kind of bare, because I haven't put everything back together since the Purple Corruption video. But yeah, so if I could ship them to the people, I would, but I don't really think that's super much of an option. Because I'm in Australia and most of these people, I don't think they are. And shipping gets real expensive. But, yeah, they're also quite fragile. But yeah, we got our little gang of 5. Something I really enjoyed doing. I really hope that all the creators enjoyed this video if they check it out, and all of the effort and the posability and just just, they're cool. They're cool. I need to make paper dolls of my own characters, but I don't have the motivation for that. But I really need to. If you liked the idea of paper dolls and stuff, I'm more than willing to make a tutorial video on how I did them and release the patterns, so that if you got a printer, you can print them out and you can start making your own with the similar design, because they are very fun. It's a really fun way to bring life to your OCs and characters in like a cute way, because they're basically like chibi versions of themselves. So definitely, if that's something that anyone would be interested in, please let me know in the comments. I might put together a video for that. It's not very hard. You only need a few materials. I kind of went a bit crazy with it towards the end, but it doesn't need to be complicated at all. All you really need is paper and the little rabbit ear thumbtack thingamajiggies. So yeah, please check out the description and check out all of the original creators of the characters that should be linked there, as well as their YouTube channels if I have a link to their YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching. I know this wasn't scripted, it was just a bit rambly, but I did promise that I was going to properly showcase all of the dolls for the people that I attacked. So I really hope that they enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you want to see next. Ladies, gentlemen, and honoured extraterrestrials, I'll see you later.